Welcome everyone for another video about science fiction, myth, and fact. I think it's important to put a little bit clarity about what science is supposed to be and what science is not. Um, Actually, at the moment, it's really many people just talk a lot about science, but they have really no clue. So I think it's good to point it out at least a little bit uh, what's going on. Well, we only use 10% of our brain. Probably the dumbest myth they implanted in everyone's mind. So when we went to school, they told us the same, and when we went out, they still say the same. And of course, only Einstein have the smartest mind. If you want to watch the video in another language, welcome on another channel. Before you start to crazy comment on the video, maybe just listen, think about it, verify, maybe also watch the cult video. That is also like important part because science is getting more to a cult than anything logical and something that makes sense. So we just look at the facts and verify your facts yourself. If you have something that is not true, just bring the facts, but don't come just crazy and for insult and anything. So if you look at the definition, uh, it would be through observation, experimentation, uh, reproducible, replicable, and verifiable facts. Yeah, so we can reproduce them. Yeah. Um, so the claim, science is the study of nature, but if you have to study nature, then you are already not part of nature anymore, and that is probably the biggest issue in the whole fantasy of study anything. If you don't get who you are and what is really true, then you can study whatever you want and make any kind of abstract theories about it. It will never change the facts about it. Yeah, but we cannot reproduce it, and we cannot verify it. It is pure fiction. But if you look in the definition, what is known knowledge of something acquired by study information. If you look at knowledge, a knowledge of a superior, yeah, honor, worship, a study to drive towards, devote oneself to cultivate. Information, act of informing, communicating of news, train, instruct, educate, to shape, yeah, to give form. So to shape thoughts, like as kid, um, we learn to put the form in the right, as the ruler said, place, right? But this just creates full blind trust and is just fiction worship. So science, as like almost any study, is just like a sandpit. Yeah, we have to learn to put the forms in a easy way, then like in a more complicated, learn the ABC 1, 2, 3, study and get the square head. But in a sandpit, you can make only things out of sand, right? You can make a tower, car, a castle, even a nicer castle. But finally, you're just turning around the same sandpit, right? Of course, they sophisticate the whole thing that people don't really comprehend what is really going on. And wearing a fancy suit like Harry Potter or any other monk. So this is become scientism, yeah, fiction worship, and nothing different than any kind of religion. Yeah, you can turn it around, good or bad, but in the end game, it's just a game. Yeah, and someone make the rules, and someone have to be the ruler and use the rules and square and compass to put all the heads and rules into your head. So we are just in the fiction worship, faith, belief, fiction, theory, but all this is no fact. So if you think this is absurd, so let's see where is the red line or fiction, reality, myth and truth, and theory and fact. Yeah, where are we gonna cross the red line in this? So let's listen to the what they say about science itself.
Scientific theories are not laws, and they are not treated the same as laws. Unlike a theory, where evidence changes, a law will never change. In science, a theory is a widely accepted explanation.
Widely accepted explanation. That doesn't mean it is fact, right? So let's put it on the test, right? Unicorn. In what side would you put that into reality or fiction myth? Yeah? I think it's not really difficult for anyone for all this tree. But if we talk about tree, would we put say the tree is fiction, is a myth, is a theory? And the ones who say it's like only a holographic um, perception that we have in our brain, just yeah, walk into the tree and you will see if it is true. We can go to the lake, the mountain. So with everything that is true, fact and reality, we can make a direct experience. Everything that is fiction, myth, theory is no direct experience. Everything is true is first party. We can directly make it experience it. If not, we need a book, a TV, storytelling. What is reality, truth, makes sense, and all the rest is pure nonsense. So let's try another one. Police. Would you put police in fiction, myth, or would you put it in reality? Yeah, everyone would say, yeah, but it's true. I always have problem with police and so on. But police doesn't exist. Only thing that exists is a policeman. But a policeman, he didn't birth with a uniform, right? So it doesn't exist. Some only the policeman who pretend to be police. So we have the fiction again. So claim me as facts. Yeah.
Alors, Jean-Fabien, vous êtes voyant, n'est-ce pas?
Exactement, je prévois l'avenir.
Et celle-là? Hein? Tu l'as prévue, celle-là? Vous voyez, Jules Édouard, pas besoin de long débat pour démystifier les charlatans. Alors, Jean-Fabien, vous êtes voyant, n'est-ce pas?
Exactement, je prévois.
So how to get proof of fact, right? So how to verify if the wall exists? Just running it, and you will see if it exists. Yeah, and you have to prove wall exists. It is true, and it's a fact. Everyone can reproduce it, replicate, and verify. Yeah. So if anyone say again, it's just a hologram, just try it again, smash your head into the wall, and then say it is not true that you heard in your head, and it's just an illusion. But never take a claim for a fact. Verify yourself, everything that exists can be verified by proof of fact. If not, is the proof of non-existence. So the tree exists, is true, is fact. Everyone can verify it. Here outside is a tree. Everyone can come. So everyone can repeat it and verify it himself. But never take a claim for a fact. Verify yourself. So representation is no fact because it's not present. And if it's not present, it's not real and true. Simple fact. It doesn't matter if you use sophisticated tools to claim that you can see something through strange glasses. Yeah. So no matter what you say, what you see, if you put finally the microscope is just put on a screen, and there's nothing different than Netflix or YouTube. And then they tell you, like with a animated thing, that is like, this is the part that you use, and of course all the other smart guys, they all use way more. And in fact, if it's not there, if it's not real, if it's not present, it doesn't exist. Fiction is like theory and equal to myth. Yeah. So like every fairy tale, it always starts with long time ago in a far, far away country. So you can be sure you can never verify it. But you can go to Egypt, yeah? But they tell you a lot of story about what happened in Egypt. You see lights in the stars, and they tell you what you see by different people who are just accepted by the system to tell you what they want you to think, feel, say, read. And of course, finally, they just take like the most most stupid way to make think people that the guy in a wheelchair talking through a computer is telling us what is happening out there. And why the answer always comes so long is just because someone had to type them, right? So we can say mid before 1900, after we would say this is theory. Before 80, 99.99% of the people could not read or write. And until 1930, 95% were illiterate. So all this stuff was just made by the maximum 5% of the included, involved, or what they are, or accepted people. Yeah. So finally, the fiction is not different from any of these fairy tales, from Harry Potter magic, from Walt Disney, from Hollywood, from science fiction, fantasy, yeah, imagination, or any kind of old myths transformed in science fiction, but it's all illusion. Yeah. No matter what, if you think if it's right or if it's wrong, this is how it is. Yeah. So no matter if you have another opinion, belief, conviction, education, study, source, book, or hearing saying, facts are stay facts no matter what.
If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
The theory is wrong if it doesn't fit with the experience. So the tree can be experienced, the lake, everything that exists can be experienced. No need any kind of linear, square or compass, form, ABC, opinion, belief, education, conviction, source, hearing, saying. It doesn't change. nothing, facts stay facts. No matter what, it will remain fact. By logic, sense, reality, can reproduce it, replicate, verify it, and if you can't verify it, then it doesn't exist. So, what happened that everything gets so strange? I have other videos about what's really happening with the grammar. Yeah, grammar grimoire is meanings calling the demons. Same with the fairy tales. Yeah, from the Brother Grimm's. Old French grammarian, wise man, person who know Latin, magician. Yeah. So this is what it is. People get just manipulated with more books, square heads, fantasy stories, Harry Potter, any kind of fantasy. Just bring all more fantasy and accept more fantasy, no matter where it goes. Yeah. Finally, accepting any kind of theory. Yeah. If the world is round, if the world is flat, or if the world is a hole, that's all fucking theories. Going to moon, going to Mars, using satellites, finding black holes, but this is not reality or fact. Yeah. So let's see what kind of theory they are putting out. Yeah? Gravity is still a theory. Yeah. Of course, they try to show what is happening and tell that what they explain, what is happening, is reality. Yeah. But why we have things to fly up at the same time? Yeah. And they try to prove gravity with this kind of um, collider they put up in the desert to show us animation on the computer or some kind of black holes. Really bad. I mean, you know Photoshop. My child, you give her Photoshop, she do this better. But they got 3 million for making the black hole. This was the woman behind the black hole to develop algorithm. Yeah. So there is no proof whatsoever about gravity because everything what is said is made in a laboratory. Yeah. So no proof of fact, stays a theory no matter what. Yeah. But of course the microphone falls down. What is going on? So let's put aside gravity and put some density maybe into the equation, and then you can see how things are maybe work differently, were same with a different explanation if it's this what it is, no matter what. But of course, yeah, at least this is verifiable, is fact and no theory, no matter if you like it or not. If you get told otherwise, you can make it yourself and verify it. Evolution, still a theory, guys. Yeah, no matter if you just think that if somebody think otherwise, you have to believe in God. No, that's not the case. It is mostly if you think for yourself, you never take a proposed choice, but you think for yourself and see what is really going on. Yeah. So it's a theory, not a fact. And to think that everything happened because of explosion per like just by accident and making more fantasy out of it. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's not verifiable. It's not reproducible. It's bullshit. It's theory. So evolution, monkeys become human. So all the monkeys will become human one day, or what is between the monkeys and the human? Would that be the African? What kind of bullshit, racist theory would that be, right? So Mr. Darwin making a couple of bullshit claims, not verifiable, and of course it always fit with different hoax what they definitely have. And this is all what the Darwin proposed, that the bird after a different nose after a couple of time, but there is no species that changed. Yeah, fish is still fish, monkey is still monkey. This is all, of course, complete bullshit. And the first fossil was found in the same period by all these fanatics, so it is not verifiable. It is a theory.
If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
Theory is wrong. Yeah, but this is also like, this is a perfect example how people like get completely confused. Yeah, who was there first? Yeah, but you can't divide these boats. It is by questioning you are dividing this, but never, there was never a bird without egg and never egg without a bird. Simple as that. So there was never a division. There was always same. There was together. Yeah, but this is something that people can't. Yeah, can't imagine. If you have a tree, who was there first, the tree or the seed? I mean, it's bullshit. They never, there was always. This is how life it works. Yeah, but and if you see in life reality, there's no beginning, no end in life. Yeah, this is a fact, and this is not a theory, because where's the beginning of a tree? Is it the seed? Is it the root, the trunk, the leaf, and the seed? Where would the seed come from? They come from another tree. So there was never divided and was no beginning. And if the leaf fall down of the tree, they are not dead. If not, we would like have thousands of layers dead tree on the floor. Everybody can verify it, no matter where you are, as long as you have a tree. Look it for yourself. Climate change. Oh, this is like the new hype. Everybody is like falling deeply into, because of course everybody is scared about, or is worried about the life itself. But what is done with it is a very pervert thing. So the climate system is a couple of linear chaotic systems, therefore no long-term prediction of future exact climate state is not possible. The focus must be upon prediction and probability distribution of the system future possible state by the generation of assemblies of model solutions. Yeah, this is the official report. You can verify it yourself. IPCC, and just to remind you that IPCC is completely political. Yeah, it's from the UN, intergovernmental body of the United Nations, but it's not scientific whatsoever, folks. Yeah, just get over it. Of course, there is a lot of pollution going on, destruction, plastic, raping the earth, destroying the sky, the water, and everybody is shouting after the CO2 and the heavy metal, toxic waste, chemicals. Yeah, so the CO2 is the new doomsday thing, right? So we will all burn in hell with CO2. So how much CO2 is really in the air, what is really dangerous. This would be the main question. Like, is it 20%? Is it 60%? How much CO2 do we really have in the air? 0.0391%. That's not a joke. That's the official number, and it doesn't change. It didn't change the last since 1970. Right? This is the composition of air. Here you have it. This is the composition of what is in the air, and how much of this is man-making, because now we have all to pay the CO2 taxes. So what is the real amount of this 0.0391%? It's not even 4%. So pay your climate tax, yeah? So what is CO2? Let's see what is CO2, because this CO2 is really dangerous. Yeah, if it's, let's say, maybe 0.8%, like we would all die. This is what they say, yeah? But the CO2 is going up. So to perform photosynthesis, plants need three things: carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. By taking the water through the roots, carbon dioxide, CO2 from the air, and the light energy from the sun, plants can perform photosynthesis. What? Yeah. So the plant need CO2. And indoor farms, they put even the CO2 on the double, yeah, to increase the photosynthesis with almost like jet. I don't know what that is, but it looks almost like a jet motor. So CO2 is not dangerous, but it provides life. Yeah. In the next video, I will show you what is really going on, because if people want to get rid of CO2, then they want to get rid of life.
If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
So there is no climate change. Of course, you can use DiCaprio or the Greta, use these puppets to make anything people believe, and people will just get hysteric and whatsoever. A next video will maybe come. I will not predict baby better. But just to see the list of doomsday prediction, yeah, maybe pause the video and read it. We would all be dead since long time if any of this would even happen. Yeah. So let's go to the last theory. And hey, folks, this is the number one theory: heliocentrism. Yeah, ball Earth is number one theory, and no matter if you have any kind of videos showing them to go anywhere in space by fancy satellites and anything of that, there is not even one single real picture of Earth. Yeah, maybe this one taken from a round window on low orbit. So don't think I'm going to tell you that the Earth is flat, because this is exactly the same theory as the ball Earth. None of us have seen that with our own eyes. You would have to trust other people, but it can't be reproduced and not verified.
If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
So none of us have seen it with our own eyes, but we have to trust military, because NASA is military, and they show us everything what is going on in space, and this is all what we get. Yeah.
Ask yourself this question: does it explain what happens, or does it explain how and why something happens? If it explains what happens, you are talking about a law. If it explains how or why something happens, You are talking about a theory.
The law will not change, the theory can change, yeah. So maybe make your mind up. But if someone can know it, then everyone can know it. Otherwise, none can know it. You can know if the wall is there, if the mountain is there, if the tree is there, if the lake is there. Taste it, you can smell it, you can lick it if you want. Yeah, you can visit Jabba to know if he really exists. And I have no doubt Australia exists, even I was never there. Yeah. So if you really want to be sure and make use not logic at all, that Australia is very difficult to fake. Yeah, with all these people, and I know a couple of people who traveled there for a while. So maybe they just went into a movie. Yeah. So everything we can use sense and logic to know what is really going on, what is real. Never take a word for granted. Yeah. Question everything and everyone due to every thought that is going on in our mind. And how to think for ourselves. Don't ask me that, but ask yourself how to do that. Thanks for watching and see you soon.